Great, we're going.
Greetings everyone to Marquis TV. I'm privileged today to be sitting here with, unbeknownst to him, a little bit of a mentor of mine, a silent mentor, Tony Soter. Thanks, Neil. Great coffee, great wine goes with great coffee.
There you go.
Just a bit. Tony Soter, originally born in Oregon, and moved to Napa Valley. I'll get him to do a brief synopsis, but probably one of the most thoughtful, discerning winemakers that I've ever met. Tony, welcome to Vancouver. Thanks.
Thank you, John. We've known each other a long time, and it's great to finally be here on your territory.
It's great. So tell us just briefly a little bit of history of Tony Soter and how he came into Oregon.
Well, it was kind of a coming back, having been born in Oregon, but then gone away as a child to California for school. And once I got out of college, I moved to Napa. I've never really done anything else as gainful employment other than be in the wine business, and particularly grape growing and winemaking. So 30 years in Napa, but always looking over my shoulder at my homeland, Oregon, and admiring the Pinot Noirs that grew there, and ultimately divested myself of many years of great involvements in Napa, and moved the family to Oregon, where it really took 10 years of transition to buy our first piece of property and plant vines and begin to make the wines we call Soter Vineyards.
But there is a BC connection because your wife was born here, but moved away at a very young age. We got to get that BC connection.
That's right. It's true. That my wife Michelle was born in Vancouver and then raised in Portland.
So let's talk about just Tony made wine for Spotswood, Delaval, Phelps.
Not Phelps, but Schaefer,
sorry.
Arajo. And Neva Copeland.
Well, let's talk about, this is sorry, what year is it?
2009.
2009, Mineral Springs.
Right, this is our estate wine called Mineral Springs Ranch. It's a very privileged site. I've invested all my life savings in this piece of property in order to realize its potential, because it is ideally suited to nurturing the Pinot Noir grape. It's about a 400-foot to 500-foot elevation, which is in our neck of the woods thought to be the kind of sweet spot. Not too cold for frost and not too high for delayed maturity. It has super well-drained marine sedimentary soil. It's very sandy, like beach sand underneath, a little bit of loamy topsoil, and then compacted sandstone underneath. It's very well-drained, and in a wet climate, that's an important thing to have.
Absolutely.
So the juxtaposition of this little ridge that we're on is oriented to the east and west, and hence the sun tracks across it every day, and as the vines lay across that ridge, they get really maximized solar radiation. So a lot of things conspire to create the attributes for making the site really good, and then we applied some really 30 years of experience and know-how finding the appropriate rootstocks and the clones of Pinot Noir from. We have the general commercially acceptable clones, but we also have rare heirloom clones that I've been collecting for a number of years. And those are not commercially available.
Those are the things that you were doing in almost Carneros type of thing?
Yeah, there was a project I started called Heirloom Pinot Noir, and it was dedicated to finding these rare plant materials that are not commercially available, and preserving them first of all, and then making wines from them.
See, this is the key. 30 years of overnight success, right? How to make great Pinots.
That's right.
We won't get into that, but let's go through this wine. So how old are the vines here in this 09?
Well, they're pretty young. This was the planting of the heirloom plants went onto this site at Mineral Springs Ranch in 2002. So they're just in their 7th leaf of this bottling. Very complex aromas, very elegant and seductive sort of Pinot Noir, not a powerhouse in the sense of weight or muscle or tannin, with great finesse and terrific amounts of seduction in the aromatics and the silky texture.
Great Pinot gives me goosebumps.
There you go.
And I just got them. And you know what this reminds me of tasting at? When I go to Burgundy and I taste at Denis Bachelet.
Oh, really?
His wines, they're great. They're just seductive. There's not one thing that goes, I taste the spice, or I taste the mineral. You've got this harmonization of everything, and it's very hard to put, it's a fingerprint of the site, but it's very hard to put a description of one or two words on this wine. Seductive, I think, is a great word. And seamless.
It's one of those sites that gives us a wine quite naturally. It seems like you don't have to work it very hard. You grow grapes well on a good site. The wines do have a way of kind of seeming to make themselves. Obviously, we put a lot of effort into the actual process, but these come quite naturally by their balance and by their personality expression. And it's a nice exotic expression, but it has minerality and Asian spices, lots of textural opulence to go along with these exotic aromas.
Great. Tony, I mean, it's been great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And
years of support, we appreciate it.
yeah, and hopefully we'll get you up more than once every 3 or 4 or 5 years. Cheers, Matt. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, done.